Right, we are back with more Prison Architect, and as you can see, our death row area is now built up and complete. And I've been trying to figure out how it works, but I think, let's start the game running, I think that's right. I think you need this to get down to 0% is what you need to do. Because we upgraded him, of course he's already, well, we know he's guilty of 4 murders. So I think we can actually schedule his execution. Let's just do it, why not? Right, assemble an execution detail. What does that mean? The warden and chief make their way to the condemned inmate's cell. In addition, a priest or spiritual leader of the prisoner's choice will arrive on site and visit the prisoner on his cell. Okay, escort the witnesses to the facility. Escort the prisoner to the facility. Execution. Dismiss staff and witnesses. Final report. Okay. So we shall await the arrival of the chief and the warden. And this guy will then be no longer one of our problems. Then we just need to wait for, essentially, people to come into our prison. There's no one at this point in time in the intake ready to come in, I don't believe. But you deserve it, mate, to be honest with you. You've committed 4 murders since you've been in this prison. And that's just a bit of a dick move, to be honest with you. So we're just waiting for the chief and the warden to make their way up. It's a big old prison, so it might take them a while. Oh, I've got to press authorize, have I? Test facility. Oh, they wasn't actually doing it, were they? Okay. Authorize, authorize. Okay, they're on their way. It would help if I actually did that, wouldn't it, really? Okay, so they're on their way up now then, are they? Okay, this is the priest, is it? These are the witnesses. Okay, making their way down. So this is the longest part, is just them lot making their way up. Oh god, where are we now? So let's just follow the witnesses. So it's a big old prison. It's going to take them a while to get to where they need to get to. But then, of course, it will be done, and we can remove Mr. Russell from our prison. I mean, this was supposed to be Bob Bobbington's chair, but somebody else executed him for us. I thought it said we had to escort the witness, but... Okay, so the warden and that are making their way up as well. Are they? Where is the warden? Oh, that's not. That's the priest, is it? Are you a priest? No, you're like a rabbi sort of guy. Okay. So I actually quite like the format of this prison. I think definitely a sort of format I would do again with this sort of walkway around the outside for the staff. I think it's a good way of doing it. It definitely keeps people a lot more secure. We haven't had anyone try to escape as of yet. In my previous prisons where I've had MaxSec, they do just constantly try and make a run for the door all the time. And this one has actually been quite solid. I mean, we had a few issues early on with people trying to escape all the time and stuff like that. But since then, it's been pretty well looked after. So I think all we need to do now, obviously, we've got protective custody is complete, death row is complete. So I think all we need to do now is look to expand our areas. So we, of course, need to expand our MaxSec area and our Supermax as well. So that should be pretty interesting. Of course, we've got enough space to build another, is it 300? Supermax cells, and possibly even more once we get to the end of the space. And then we've also got space to double our MaxSec area. I bet the cats are playing around. Little bastards. I'm going to have to lock one away for a bit. They're getting too aggressive. Come here. Come here, you. Come here. Come stand on my desk. There we go. Right, they're taking their bloody time, these people, aren't they? Maybe we should have built the death row a bit closer to the front door. Right, they're on their way, though. This percentage is now going up. This percentage is also going up. And the family are on their way. But that's all we need to do once these people are in place. Is the chief and the warden here yet? Let's open the gate so you can get in. There you go. Is the chief and the warden here yet? Doesn't look like it, does it? I don't like the way that you can't put flooring underneath these fences. That would have been quite a good... Because it looks a bit funky now, doesn't it? Maybe if you put the floor down first, it works. But if you put the fence down first, it doesn't. So the witnesses are still making their way up. They don't need to put in this game. They need to put in like little vehicles so you can drive people around. That'd be pretty cool. That guy just walked straight past that gate when there were people stood there. That is really annoying. Are you the warden or are you're a lawyer? Okay. Of course, we've got our lawyer offices set up now. So let's open and open. Let's let them in. Okay, let's also... Stop moving, there we go. So that is the witnesses in place. They're going to take a chair. Okay. Execution detail, we're just waiting for the chief and the warden to make their way up. And where is the chief and the warden? They're taking their time, aren't they? They're not still in their offices, are they? Well, this is the warden's office and there's no one in there, so he's definitely making his way up. Okay, it's got up to 60% now, so we are getting there. Okay, you're the chief? No, you're a guard. You're a guard. Where's the warden? There's the chief. The chief is really slow, isn't he, compared to others? Warden? Where's the warden? Well, hopefully the warden's already there. 65% now of the people up there. Oh, I zoomed in too far. As always. There's the warden. The warden's already here. He can't get through the doors on his own. The warden doesn't have keys, apparently. And the chief is on his way as well. Let's open that door for the warden. Maybe we should have put a security room in here with like automated doors. We should do that for every cell block, really. I've just not really been that... I've not been that smart in my build-up, really. I think in the future that's probably what I will do. I'll look to have security rooms to sort of control the doors. Especially if we come back and do another prison soon in the psychiatric expansion. I think that's probably what we will do. We will have little security rooms dotted around where they can control the doors. There we go. And in we go. Right, so that is that. You're in place. We can now escort the prisoner to the facility. This is a real weird way of going. I don't know why they've gone in this weird way. Okay. Open the door. Get you in, my friend. Oh. Okay, in you go. So who actually does the execution? Where's the button they press? I don't know. So yeah, you need it. I was waiting for it to get up to 100%. I was sat there thinking, why isn't the numbers going up? And then I realised that numbers have to come down. Now, the numbers coming down is the chance that you will be fined by the government for the execution. So you have to prove, but because this guy had killed so many people, we didn't really need it. Here we go. Let's zoom in. And let's execute. He done. Dismiss the staff and witnesses. And Andrew Russell, you are no longer part of our prison. You murdered 4 people on sight. And now you are gone. The mandated execution of Andrew Russell was carried out at 7:32 as scheduled by electric chair in the presence of witnesses. The standard compensation of $10,000 will be awarded to the institution for their part in the process. Oh, nice. We get some money out of it. And there we go. Andrew Russell is no longer part of our prison. Right. So that's that then. Of course, we now just need to wait for death row prisoners to become available. Right, so now we want to look at potentially starting to expand our prison where we can. Now, what do we want to expand first? Our max sec or our super max? I think we do our super max actually. So let's go for a clone. And let's clone this to here. And then, as we found out last video, we can rotate this now, which is absolutely amazing. And just drop it down there. And that is another 100 Supermax cells in place. That is, I love this. This is so good, this is now. Just makes things so much easier. Right, max sec is looking pretty good. Do we have space in Supermax? We don't. We've got the full amount. Max sec, we've got space for 4. But our intake is currently shut. We do possibly need to move somebody up because there is a legendary prisoner knocking around. There he is there. There is a legendary prisoner knocking around in max sec, which I would like to get moved up to Supermax, but there's just no space at this moment until somebody is relieved of their life force, should we say? Is that a good phrase? I don't think it is it really? Right, so these guys are going to start working on that. This game is going to start lagging like hell. Don't know what else we're going to do now then. So we need to, obviously... Food is working fine, that's good. Russell has been removed. That moving him now? Yeah, they're leaving like little patches of blood on the way, which is not very ideal, is it? Let's let these gardeners through this gate. So yeah, I mean, let's just wait for some death row people to come in, don't we, really? Protective custody, we have 7. We need to turn the intake back on then, don't we? Filter capacity, we'll get the 4 max set guys in. And we'll just see how long it takes these guys to build all of this. We do need to think about water. Is that one? We probably will build another water pump here, why not? Let's build another water pump here. And another one here. And then let's start running the pipes. Might as well get ahead of the curve, mightn't we? Oh, you can feel the lag. That's probably why the clone tool wasn't as big in the last game. Or in the last run of the game. Because of the amount of lag it does cause. But it should be fine. I mean, I might have to leave this running after this. And let them build this so we can have a bit more of a smooth run next time. Let's get another large pipe there. It missed that one block, didn't it? Let's go another large pipe here. Another large pipe here. So basically one across each block. We also need all the electrics to be run as well. And we need the small pipes to be run. So small pipes get run just inside here. It's letting us do this now without the problems of under the shower, which is good. Because that was a problem we had in the last run of this game, wasn't it, really? Where the pipes under the shower wouldn't let you run until the shower head had been built. Which is a bit funky. I'm not quite sure why that was a thing. I mean, you could run the pipes under any other appliance, but just not showers until they were built. Yeah, the lag is something else right now, I tell you. The lag is really something else. Maybe we need to, if we just hire a lot more workmen. I mean, we only have so much more we need to build, so if we just get them in to build it all, and then we can cancel them all after that. Can we not cancel them all? We can just get rid of them, a chunk of them. We'll still need a few, obviously, but we can get rid of a chunk of them. Let's also plumb in the sinks down here as well. I probably do actually want to turn the intake off until this area is fully built. Because that could cause problems, actually, if we get loads more people in when we shouldn't do. Right, so let's close the intake. Right. Let's come out of there. We can't because the game is now auto-saving. Just what you always want, isn't it? A nice little auto-save while you're trying to do stuff. Okay. Come on, auto-save. Hurry up. We've got important prisoning to build. There we go, right. So that is all being done now. We also need to run the electrics, don't we? Okay, let's hire, like, loads more workmen. The more workmen we get, the quicker this will get built, is my theory. It also is going to lag the game more by the looks of it, but that's just what we'll have to deal with. I mean, I've clicked so many times so far, and I've only managed to hire 10 workmen here. Okay, it is hiring them now. They're all on like one spot. But I think it'll be good. It gets it all built up as quicker as possible. And hopefully that will reduce the amount of lag. It's not going to though, is it? Let's face it. And it's space for another 100 Supermax prisoners, which is obviously going to start making us a lot of money. I would love to get to a point where we actually are back in the red. Not back in the red. We're back in the black. Currently, we're £9 million the red, but we are making 110 grand a day. So if we can bring in a lot more Supermax prisoners, a lot more max prisoners, that's obviously going to shoot up. And maybe that'll be our target. We'll finish this game off once we have got ourselves back in the black. That's a good doable one, I think. Of course, like I said, we get a lot of money just for housing a lot of these prisoners. And if we go up to 400 Supermax, and then, what would it be? 720 max sec. That's going to obviously... Well, it's going to double our max sec intake, isn't it? But then it's going to quad our Supermax intake. And we're also going to have the protective custody guys and hopefully some more death row as well. It has taken so long to hire these people. They're just not... They're not going in, are they? Well, we're up nearly another 100. So bearing in mind we had 300, so we go up another 100. That's going to make the build 30% quicker, in theory. That's the theory. I'm going to try and get up to 500. I mean, 600 would double the speed of the build, which would be nice. We do need to also put the electrics in as well. Although, is it... There's lots of lights popping in there. I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't think I built the electrics, so it's probably nothing to do with us, is it? So the guys are wandering around with lots of boxes, which is good. The guards are letting them all in and out, which is good. So yeah, this should be pretty good. We can get this this legendary prisoner moved up then to Supermax. I'm thinking of setting it so all max guys that commit a murder move up to Supermax, but the problem is we're just filling it up so quick because the Supermax and the max don't often change. There's not very often that people actually get released. I mean, there's 4 prisoners up for parole at the moment, but we've got a lot of very hardened criminals, and they're not necessarily the best for parole, should we say. Because chances are they're not going to pass. Right, there we go. Let's get up to... So that is my hand really hurting now. That's 500 workmen now, up from 300, which we had. Okay. Oh, no, look. It actually is... Oh, no, we did all the electrics already, haven't we? Oh, I'm stupid, aren't I? We did all the electrics to try and get rid of the lag, didn't we? That's cool. So now it's just a waiting game. Sorry, I was having a drink then. It's just a waiting game now then. Now then. Right, so we want to obviously do this as well. I mean, I could... So I want to obviously do this. And then rotate that, and then we can have another, obviously, infirmary and morgue in here. Like so. Okay. And then in these buildings here is where we want the... What are we going to have in here? We're going to have psychiatrist offices, weren't we? And a common room. So if I was to build, say... Right, where am I? Where's the planning tool? There it is. So if I built like a walkway here, for example. So offices need to be 4 wide. So if we did... Is that 6 or is that 5? I can't tell. So they need to be 4 wide, is that correct? Where is an office? Office. There it is. 4 by 4 it needs to be, okay. So... 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's an office. That's an office. That's not an office. That's an office. Ah, lag. That is an office. This is an office. And this is an office. Okay. And then this then can be a common room. So the idea is we have all these offices built in for... Let's actually just leave that as an open common room, I think. All these offices can then be built for psychiatrists who can then do behavioural therapy sessions. And then in the big rooms here, we can have psychiatrists doing Alcoholic Anonymous sessions, or whatever they're called. So that is the plan. So let's put the doors in here. And of course we can copy and paste this across as we need to into the other sides. And then we want rooms, common room. Where's the common room? There's the common room. The problem I'm going to have, actually, common room-wise, is that I've put chairs in all of these. Oh, these aren't common rooms, are they? Okay, that's fine then. Because I remember now, I didn't set them up as common rooms so I could have this actual area set up for it. So we'll throw a lot of chairs down in this back area. God, these cats are going mental today. Yeah, so we'll throw some chairs in here, and then we'll throw just one. Oh, no, let's just leave it like that, I think. And then we'll get those built up. Of course, I'm just queuing up far too many jobs at this point in time. This guy's seriously injured. Comes into the doctor's place on his own, which is good. At least he knows where he should be. There's a lot of red dotted around, isn't there, at this point in time? A lot of people doing what they shouldn't be doing. The guards are on their way to sort it all out, though. I'm still a bit confused how a lot of these Supermax guys don't seem to have any sort of traits. Whereas the Max guys do. I'm a bit confused by that, to be honest. So let's get one of the Max guys to come and tell us all about what he knows. Yeah, it's just a bit odd to me that's the way it is. It's odd. But how are we getting on down here? It's literally not built at all, is it? Let's have a look down at here. Anybody we can... Oh, God, this bloody screen does my head in. Every time you run your mouse over that, it just... There we go. It just drags you all the way across. Right, recruit informant. I mean, you've murdered someone, Stephen Gall. And then recruit informant. Yeah, so you've murdered someone while you've been in this prison. Okay, that's a bit of a dick move, mate. Attempted murder. Not guilty, not guilty. So if we put someone like that into death row, then that would be when we would take a bit of time to get them down. Percentage-wise, because he pleaded not guilty. So he has a case. Whereas with the other guys, with the other guy we put in, he pleaded guilty to all the murders. Therefore, he didn't really have a leg to stand on, did he, really? That was the plan there, I think. Because he pleaded guilty. But then again, if you plead guilty, normally you don't get the death penalty, do you? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know a lot about prison. Right, what are we looking like time-wise now, then? We are looking... Oh, we've still got about a good 7 or 8 minutes left of this video. Hopefully by then we'll have a good portion of this built up. More dead doggies. So what are you doing in here? You've come all the way here to get healed and you've been handcuffed. So yeah, as you can see, we're making a fair whack of money. So we're making money in of 120k per day. So like I said, as soon as we start to bring more people in, more prisoners in, that's going to start shooting up. And so I say, I want to get to a point where we get this back into the black. That'd be pretty cool, I think. So once this is done, our next job will be to copy and paste the canteen into this side, and then we can obviously expand our max area up. Super max, we've got obviously this area and this area to also build, and then this end area which I sort of repurposed a bit now. So I need to sort of figure out what we're going to do. I could just layer up another load of cells across here potentially, just have it more, just have cells on one side of a canteen. We could do that. We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, I suppose. How are we getting on here? Oh, a nice autosave. Exactly what I wanted at this point in time while I'm trying to have a look at stuff. Although I have noticed since the... Well, saying since the expansion, I've not had a crash, but... I've not started allowing them to use tasers yet. I'll have to do that. Maybe I'll test that out. Once this prison's finished, I will put the taser rollout in and let the guards have tasers and see if that crashes the game, because that was the issue before. Come on, game. Hurry up. I mean, it's doing well with the amount of workmen. You can see they're carrying a lot of stuff in. There is a lot of stuff in these things, with the pool tables and the sofas and the chairs and all that sort of stuff. So we do have a lot of stuff to be built, don't we? But I say it's changed now. You don't have to build the foundations anymore. Whereas you used to have. So I built all the foundations of the buildings before, didn't I? Now you don't have to. So I've sort of wasted a bit of my my building time, to be honest. Well, let's get that open so you can get in there. You're intent on doing so. I like our death row area, I really do. And our protective custody area as well. We've still got this empty gap in protective custody that we can build stuff in. It says 5 prisoners up for parole. I wish I knew who they were, because I've just realised there's no parole rooms in here. So maybe it could actually be the protective custody guys. Well, it's definitely not you, is it? You've murdered 2 people since you've been here. 58 years. So you, I believe, should be up for parole, James Bray. So I think I should probably build a parole room down here, I think. I'm feeling maybe like a... I don't know, well... I'm going to just build a couple of parole rooms down this side. I mean, they shouldn't really be this deep into the prison, to be honest, but... If I did... I don't know, like... Here? Would that work? It would work, yeah. Oh, let's just do it. Let's just stop messing around with stuff. Let's just build it. So build you and you. Because of course, if we do get early release, we do get a reward, another financial reward. I mean, this number is going to shoot up a lot more, by the way, because we've got all the rest of the areas to build. But hopefully, once we do build the areas up, it's also going to speed up the rate at we get the money in. So let's do that, and then we want to obviously get a visitor table. Okay. Okay, like that. Okay, that's all that done. Okay. So, how are we getting on over here? Slow? Yep, definitely slow. Also, we haven't got any parole in this area yet either, so possibly that's what this can be. I mean, how wide is this room? 41. So we could just have like 2 massive parole rooms. We're not going to need anything else, are we? So like 20. So it should be there, I think, is the middle. Is that correct? So you've got 20 and 20. Yep, okay. So let's also put this in place as well. I mean, these parole rooms are going to be massive. They're going to be far bigger than what they need to be. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, what else do they use the space for? Everything else is sort of built on this side now. So we're just going to build 2 massive parole rooms. We'll have a guard stationed in each one permanently, because we know what these people are like. But we need parole being sorted, I think. And we want objects again with the visitor table. There we go. So right in the middle of the room. These rooms are far too big. I mean, we could have like 4 of these in there, but there we go. Okay, so we do have parole set up already in MaxSec. We do. So these 5 people up for parole, or 3 people up for parole. 2 people are due for... Oh, there we go. Early release reward. So someone did just get released. Somebody got released. Must have been from parole. Where? I don't know where you are, though. Where are you to do your parole? I mean, I'll just... Oh, because you leave the map, don't you? Okay. So 4 prisoners up for parole and 1 is up for release soon, which is nice. There we go. We're looking good. Right, so this is slowly but surely getting built up. The key word is slowly, is the main part of that. But that is obviously our next big task to get that all done. And then once that is done, it's all about getting the MaxSec increased as well. So we're going to, like I said, copy and paste this canteen across the back first. That'll be our first job. And then we can just copy and paste these cell blocks to here. And then again, copy and paste these cell blocks to here. And that is our max area doubled in size. And then, of course, what we could probably do to make this even quicker, it's a bit... No, we won't. We'll do 1 block at a time. I was going to say I could just copy and paste both of this in one go up here, but that probably is a bit much, isn't it? Okay. So it's just a case of playing the waiting game again now then, isn't it, really? So we're at about the 30-minute mark now anyway, so I'm going to call that it for the day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let them build this before I come back and see you again. Of course, we have our intake switched off at this point in time, so we won't get anybody else in. We'll get this built up, and then I'll come back and see you next video, and we can showcase the new area and get 100 more Supermax prisoners in and start to build up our canteen area as well. Of course, if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you would like to see some more. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.